If you've been doing all the right things to manage anxiety, like therapy, meditation, and maybe even medication, but something still feels off, this might be the missing piece. What most people don't realize is that your gut, which is often called your second brain, has a huge influence on your mental and emotional state. Hi, I'm Jess. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist who specializes in cognitive health. And today I'm going to walk you through the 4 simple science-backed nutrition shifts that help reduce anxiety from the inside out. There was a time when anxiety controlled every single part of my life. I constantly felt wired but exhausted. I was overwhelmed by the smallest things, and I was always waiting for the next wave of panic to come. I tried everything. I was in therapy for years. I tried a couple different medications. I even tried to meditate. And they helped, sort of, but it always felt like I was treating my anxiety symptoms and not really getting at the root of the problem. Because no matter what I did, there was always something that would trigger another panic attack. So what finally made the difference? Calming my body before trying to calm my mind. I learned to nourish my body in a way that supported my brain. And when I started to eat to support my nervous system, something shifted. Suddenly, therapy was landing a lot better. I could actually sit and meditate without spiraling into panic, and I didn't feel like I was just surviving my own body anymore. And that's what I want for you too. As I was training as a holistic nutritionist, I discovered the field of science called nutritional psychiatry, where psychiatrists are actually trained in nutrition to help support people with mental health issues. They help with everything from anxiety and depression to PTSD and ADHD and lots more. And it just clicked for me. We have to eat anyway, so why not make it something that helps reduce anxiety instead of something that makes it worse? So let's dive into the 4 core nutrition shifts I teach my clients. These small changes can make a really big difference when it comes to anxiety. The first one is learning to balance your blood sugar. If you've ever felt anxious, foggy, or irritable, or overwhelmed out of nowhere, it could be your blood sugar levels. So here's what's happening. Sugar and refined carbs spike your blood sugar kind of like a roller coaster. Then comes the crash, which creates irritability, brain fog, and yes, even panic. These crashes mess with your brain's common chemicals like serotonin and GABA. And over time, they can also increase inflammation, which is closely tied to anxiety. So here are some simple shifts that will help. Your first meal of the day is the most important. So eating a meal that's high in protein and that also has some fats and fiber is key to keeping your blood sugar levels steady and stable throughout the day. My go-to lately has been a taco, turkey, and egg scramble topped with some salsa and avocado. It's delicious and keeps me stable throughout the day. When you do eat simple carbohydrates, try to pair them with protein and fat to help slow down the blood sugar spike. So for instance, instead of just having a piece of fruit for a snack, try pairing it with some yogurt or nut butter. And when you do choose to eat sweets, try and have them later on in the day. So when you do maybe feel a blood sugar crash, it's in the evening when your responsibilities of the day are over. Also, going for a walk after eating a high carbohydrate meal, even for 10 minutes, can really help your muscles absorb some of that sugar instead of leaving it to float around in your bloodstream. If you would like some help with this, please download my free 3-day anxiety reducing meal plan below. It's full of blood sugar friendly meals that help keep your energy steady and calm your mind. The next principle I want to talk about is feed your gut to calm your mind. Your gut and your brain are constantly in conversation with each other. And when your gut is inflamed or out of balance, it sends stress signals straight to your brain. And this is why this matters. Around 90% of serotonin, which is your feel-good hormone, is made in your gut. So are other calming neurotransmitters like GABA. A struggling gut often leads to an anxious mind. So think of your gut like soil. If you nourish it well, your mental health has the ability to grow strong roots. So here's what helps. Eating fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, and kimchi. Eating prebiotic fibers like onions, bananas, and oats. And eating foods with polyphenols like berries, green tea, and dark chocolate. Soothing foods for the gut are things like bone broth and collagen. And don't forget, you can activate the gut-brain connection with things like deep breathing, humming, or even splashing some cold water on your face. And don't forget to grab my free 3-day meal plan. It's got lots of gut-friendly recipes, and it's full of delicious ideas that support your gut and your mood. The third principle I want to talk about is to gently reduce hidden triggers. Some of our favorite habits like coffee, wine, or sweets can push our nervous system into overdrive. And why this matters is things like caffeine and sugar spike your cortisol and adrenaline. Alcohol can disrupt serotonin and sleep, and these spikes and crashes can leave you wired and then feeling really anxious when they wear off. I like to think of your nervous system like a flowing river. Caffeine and sugar are like a sudden storm that make it overflow, and alcohol is like a dam that creates blockages in the flow. Neither one really lets your system settle. So here are some gentle swaps that work. Try matcha with L-theanine in it instead of coffee. You can also try replacing soda with something lower in sugar and no artificial sweeteners. Something like sparkling water with a splash of juice is a better option. And instead of wine at night, try a mocktail made with tart cherry juice, which also supports sleep. At night, you can also try winding down with a magnesium-rich drink. They have pre-made ones like Recess or Calm. Those are some great options too. And you don't have to give everything up. Just start noticing which habits actually help you feel truly calm. The fourth principle I want to talk about are adding in calming nutrients. So certain nutrients act like building blocks for a more resilient nervous system. These are three of the most important ones to focus on. Number one is magnesium. Magnesium calms the nervous system, and it's found in things like spinach, pumpkin seeds, almonds, and dark chocolate. The second one is omega-3 fatty acids. These help to reduce inflammation and support serotonin production, and they're found in salmon, sardines, flax seeds, walnuts, algae oil. The third important nutrient are B vitamins. They help your brain make calming neurotransmitters, and they're found in things like leafy greens, eggs, whole grains, legumes, and chicken. Just start small here. Just add one magnesium-rich snack. Try and include one omega-3 rich food in one meal a day, or choose one B vitamin source a day. And remember, these aren't quick fixes. They're small acts of nourishment that build resilience to stress over time. Listen, your food doesn't have to be perfect, but it can absolutely support your mental health instead of making you feel more anxious and more out of balance. By balancing your blood sugar, feeding your gut, reducing hidden triggers, and adding in more calming nutrients, you're not just managing anxiety. You're gradually rewiring the way your body responds to stress. And if you're ready to start, go ahead and download my free 3-day anxiety reducing meal plan below. It's full of simple, delicious meals designed to support your mood and bring your body back into balance. You deserve to feel safe, steady, and at home in your own skin. Let's start building that foundation one bite at a time. If you found these nutrition tips helpful, but you struggle to change your eating habits, you're going to love what's coming next. Be sure to hit subscribe and tap on the bell now, because next week I'm going to be sharing my proven strategy to finally stop craving junk food even when you're anxious. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one. Thanks, and I'll see you then.